Hey, everyone. Good to see everybody. Good to see everyone. It is kind of late. I've been up, been up doing some things, making sure to take care of business. And today I want to talk about why a team is important in your life. I don't know if you've ever been in a place where I don't know if I've ever been like this. I don't know. Where people are like, "Hey, I can just do this myself," but um, I just think about like the growth of a business and why in growing a business, why building a team is important, right? Not necessarily like where you have to build a team, but why a team is important if you really want to see a next level to your business. I was just in a team meeting today and I I will, trying to figure out what to share and what not to share. But I think really being part of a team, um, because as y'all know, I am I am a CFO. I help with companies and different things like that. So one of my clients, we were having a team meeting, and what was amazing was the fact that everybody on the team had a story about how their life changed prior to coming um, to um, work for a company. And as I was sitting there thinking about it, I like being there since not the very beginning, but being there in the beginnings and seeing how the team has grown. I don't know. It really just opened up my eyes to the fact that whenever you are growing a company, when you grow your team, you're really enlarging the impact that you can actually make on the people you're called to serve. And even before I even get into that, a team is important. I'll just go through the list on why a team is important. And it made me really think about, like, man, I want to have impact and I want to build my team, right? I want to definitely build a team where people can say that about me, right? I know my life has been changed on being in certain rooms and being on certain teams, right? But to think about how I can do that for more people, right? Um, for more people, because I feel like I do that for a few, but I believe it's time for expansion for sure. So why building a team is important, because you have diverse skill sets. You don't want a lot of people that are just like a bunch of yous or have your strengths only and your weaknesses, because that is going to make your organization uh, not have a wide range on its capacity. So you want to have a reason why it's important to build a team is because you can have diverse skill sets. When you build a team, you can bring together people with different skill sets, backgrounds, and perspectives. And what it can do is it can increase the creativity, and you'll get a wider range of ideas and solutions that you can implement within your company. Number two is increased productivity. If you have a really good, well knit team, it's so productive, so efficient, and you'll be able to have better efficiency. Also, um, there's just a shared responsibility. Of course, everything is on the main CEO or the founder or whatnot, but when the responsibility is shared, the weight isn't all on one person. It's actually shared. People feel a ownership of the work that they do, um, especially when there's outcomes and especially when it deals with impact. This can lead to a greater sense of accountability and stronger commitment to achieving shared goals. And then also, um, it just helps improve the morale. It can really help when you are providing customer service or customer client fulfillment. having a team can help you fill in the gaps within your business that you may have had when it was just only you or you and another person. And so um, if you're looking at building a team, this isn't, I wouldn't run it like a dictatorship, right? Um, but you want to run it to where there's a common purpose, there's the mission, like people really believe in the mission, right? I hear a lot of people who take jobs that aren't just about the money, right? For me, how many years ago was that? 10 years ago, when I decided to go from like corporate oil and gas, getting paid really well, to switching over to higher education and becoming a professor. I knew I would be taking a pay cut, but the thing is that it aligned more with my purpose and my passion, and I was able to make that transition. And so, um, just in all transparency, there's someone who works for me, and I remember when we were meeting, uh, doing like a review or whatnot, and I remember when they said that they've been approached by other companies for a higher amount of money, but they chose to stick with me, right? And there's so many other factors besides money that people will stay for. They'll stay for the mission, they'll stay for the flexibility, right? I think long are the days where having a strict schedule and not being allowed to have any flexibility to tend to your family or be there when your kids or to pick up your kids. Um, I know in some jobs or careers that that's important, and that's still there's a reason why, there's an actual reason why that someone has to be at a particular location. But I think gone are the days, right, where where this generation, I know people want to throw shade on this generation, saying they don't want to work, they don't want to do nothing. I don't know if I'd agree, disagree, or anything like that, but I think what they're wanting is flexibility and time with family. I think I've heard of so many stories of where, hey, I need to go pick up my son who's sick, and they're just like, yeah, right. Or if they have an aging parent to where they said, hey, I have to go take care of them, and they've been like told not to. And the thing is that, they may have felt like, oh no, I have to be here because of the money. But I think what this generation is saying is that I don't care. I do not care, right? I care about flexibility. I care about just a little bit of freedom, right? To where I'm not tied to somewhere from like 8 to 5, and I don't have any freedom to do anything else, right? Um, yeah, like you just sort of see like a revolt or the shiftings or the shifting of almost the factory work that used to be relevant back in the day when people were manufacturing items and it was World War II, and you had to be in a factory, you had to do manual labor in a factory and do the same repetitive things. But since things are automated, AI is definitely taking a big push. But what AI can't do is there's some things that AI that has some gaps, right? Like all machines, and it's not everything's perfect. I don't know how many of you love automated systems. I don't know if you do. Go ahead and post a comment because I would be curious on who loves automated answering systems whenever you call a company. Hello, welcome. Press one if you are blind. Like, I don't know if you get joyful whenever you hear that. If you do, post it. Maybe I'm kind of weird. I don't know, but there's some things that don't replace the human touch. That will never replace the human touch, no matter how intelligent it could be, right? How much AI, how much feeling, how much feeling a thing can say. There's certain things that yes, but there are certain things that can never replace the human touch. And so that's why I think building teams are important. Connection is so key. It's so key into building relationships. I know there was a well, Jonathan Sprinkles, he always says, "Hey, you." Hopefully, I don't butcher this right, but businesses don't do like they don't work with other businesses, right? They work with a person, right? It's a person relationship. So yeah, I probably butchered that. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Why building a team. I mean, even if you look in the Bible where Jesus, I mean, he had a team. I was gonna say bro had a team, but like Jesus, like he had a team when he was here on this earth. Like to say you just gonna do stuff by yourself, like he had a mission to run. And for him to say, drop your, follow me, and they followed him. There was something about him, right? And so, of course, he's like the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, but not everybody received the calling, but not everybody followed him like the disciples did. So, team is really important. Team is definitely important, especially whenever we see in the Bible, even in the Old Testament, where Jethro was Moses's father-in-law, was saying, "Hey, you are wearing yourself out and you are wearing the people out. Put some leaders in place to do this, right? Put some leaders in place to judge the smaller matters. And as the matters become more and more important, or if they get appealed or pushed up to you, then that's when you can address them. When people aren't enabled to make decisions, yeah. So think about that. I think about whenever the disciples in the book of Acts, whenever that refrigerator was loud. Anyways, in the book of Acts where they were complaining about someone not receiving a portion of food. And so what happened is the disciples said, we have to tend to the word of God. Let's appoint deacons, right? I call them deacons. They may call them some. Let's appoint deacons that can go and administer food to people. And so the thing is, I carry that in church too. Like, gone are the days too where there's only one man or the pastor or the preacher that has to do any and everything, right? And that there has to be a team. Like in whatever successful organization, it has to be a team. I don't think I've seen any. You could, I mean, I probably have seen like a maybe one. I mean, a few like millionaires maybe that did it without a team. I don't know who though. I have no idea who, unless you're like an influencer, but still at the same time you probably hired like contracts out. So team is really important. Teamwork makes the dream work. That is so true. Like teamwork makes the dream work. And the thing is that I desire to expand my team and whatever mission that I have. I want people that are like mission oriented and not just there for like a paycheck. So like is way more than that. Like I want the people on my team to really see an impact. And I think for every one of my clients, it's good because I want to see impact within their business, right? I want to see the impact that they're making. Like it's good. So anyways, teamwork does make the dream work, and teamwork will take you far. Just like Jesus, when he was ascended, he had to, he had to empower. He empowered his disciples with the Holy Spirit to go out and to carry out the mission. Team spirit is a synergetic power that makes us proactive. Yes, when there's synergy, you can get more accomplished. You can get way more accomplished with a group of people than you would if it was just solo by yourself. So I am all for that. If you're not there, it's fine, but it's so good to have a team and say thank you for working like together, right? And it's good whenever there's like a gel, there's chemistry, there's character, and there's competency. There goes the 3 C's that we talked about as far as, me and my husband's ministry. There has to be competence. They got to know what they're doing. There has to be character. They got to have integrity, right? They can't um, just operate out of no integrity. They have to operate in integrity. They got to have character. And then they got to have chemistry. They got to get along, right? You even think about a couple, right? They're going to be two great people, two great individuals. But if they don't have chemistry, I guess, in a way, then, they can't work together. And so all those things really going together and making a team. So, for those who have bigger organizations, it works, right? Sometimes there's conflict within teams and different things like that. I'm not saying none of this will come without conflict, but when it does, sometimes it makes the team a little bit more tighter. So, yeah, teams are important, especially when growing an organization, and it's good. It's good to see the impact and the impact that hiring a team or having a team around you can have on their lives. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to share. And so, thank y'all so much. And y'all have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. And Lord willing, I will see you all tomorrow. God bless.